Are you sure?
Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never ask a bride why she's getting married. Don't wear a skirt on a windy day. Deodorant is not a shower. Don't sniff chili flakes. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The biggest takeaway from this set of elections and the many bypolls across the country is the most obvious one. The BJP has now fully recovered from the setback of the general elections earlier this summer. This buries its fears and its rivals' hopes that the party was now on a downward spiral, and as we know in elementary physics, a heavy object only gathers more momentum as it rolls down. That slide has been fully blocked, even reversed, at least in the big state of Maharashtra, with the BJP headed to win many more assembly seats than it did in 2019 and dramatically more than the general election score. Within this big headline, we spot at least a dozen other important ones. Maharashtra, for example, underlines the one thing that hasn't changed in national politics, that is the Congress party's inability to beat the BJP. Indications are that the party is trending towards its average of nearly 90% defeats to the BJP in straight contests. Watch Vidarbha, its supposed stronghold. So Congress's own record in a direct fight against the BJP is about 20%. That's also the Congress's overall performance in this election. So about 100 contested, about 20 winning. We don't know the final result yet, but that is the trend so far. The opposition, especially the India bloc, has not found a formula, slogan, or even cohesion to beat the BJP. On freebies, voters find it less convincing, its ideology is muddled, and a positive agenda is absent. What's the big thing it promised Maharashtra voters besides getting Adani out of Dharavi? Number 3, in the big picture, there are two big winners, two major winners from these elections. Devendra Fadnavis in Maharashtra and Hemant Soren in Jharkhand. Under Fadnavis, BJP has delivered its successive stellar performance in Maharashtra, about 130 now, after 105 in 2019, which itself was good. The BJP will now have a hard time to justify not giving him back chief ministership. Hemant Soren has shown fortitude, having braved long incarceration and led his coalition to an even better performance than in 2019. That's a rarity in Indian politics, especially for the non-BJP opposition parties. That Rahul Gandhi and the Congress did not campaign much in Jharkhand probably was a blessing. There are also two more winners in Maharashtra. Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar have arrived as the real leaders of the parties they prized away from their founders. Shinde's strike rate of nearly 70% establishes his rise as a leader of consequence, then a mere usurper, as it does for Ajit Pawar. Next point, this also underlines a very important development in India's political evolution, that a family is no longer the repository of its ideology. Check Thakres and Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, and do not forget Shiromani Akali Dal and the Badals in Punjab as well. Next point, this election marks the end of two storied dynasties in Indian politics, Sharad Pawar and the Thakres. Both will probably see rapid hemorrhage of cadres and even legislators. What's the point of hanging on to your dynastic owners if they can't get you the votes? Among options Sharad Pawar will probably be merging back with the Congress party. That will give some assurance of career to the career of his daughter Supriya Sule. Which brings to a tricky point. The biggest questions are asked of the Congress party now. The hard left ideological proposition Rahul Gandhi set up has been fully rejected yet again. There is no vote for a single point anti-corporate agenda in the country. As we had said, after the Haryana results, young voters now want to be wealthy and successful like Ambanis and Adanis, not send them to jail. Rahul Gandhi has got it wrong for a decade. His party and allies keep paying the price. Again, next point, nobody in the Congress would dare ask him this, but what is the point of carrying on waving that copy of the Constitution now, The threat to the constitution ended with the BJP being diminished to 240 in the summer. And in any state elections, it isn't an issue. Nobody was talking about 400 par now. Similarly, caste census has now become a mantra voters are bored with. Is the Congress party capable of imagining something more attractive and more future looking? That's the question. Does it even have a think tank? Nobody knows what it is thinking except repeating yesterday's slogans. As we had said in a national interest of which I will share a copy, Congress has drawn the wrong lessons from the general elections. An important point now, the BJP has its best chance when it is up against the Congress party. Its magic, if anything, is waiting before regional leaders. That is the BJP's magic. Evidence, look at Soren in Jharkhand, Mamta Banerjee sweeping the bypolls in West Bengal. Next, the near sweep in Uttar Pradesh by-elections also rehabilitates Yogi Adityanath and repairs the damage of general elections. He had a free hand this time in the choice of candidates and led the campaign directly himself. It's hard to see his place in BJP now being contested. Which brings us to a negative consequence. A negative consequence is the success of two giveaway schemes in Maharashtra and Jharkhand respectively. This cements freebies as an unassailable idea. Why did it not work for the MBA? Because there was lack of cohesion and voters were not convinced it was winning. They found their freebies promises less convincing because to give you freebies khatakhat, you have to win the election first. An important positive for the Congress party should not get buried under its debris in Maharashtra. In Karnataka, the Congress party's key leader DK Shivkumar succeeded in defeating Union Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy's son Nikhil in Channapatna, and he did it by fielding a recent defector he secured from the BJP. This is a big move in the Gowda family and the BJP ally JDS's Vokalega bastion. This will have consequences. The Gowda dynasty seems headed for extinction. Did hard Hindutva work? Next point. The pitch was the hardest in Jharkhand and it failed spectacularly. Even in Maharashtra, both BJP allies Ajit Pawar and Shinde questioned it. Even Eknath Shinde tried to qualify cutenge or batenge kind of line by saying that the BJP was only trying to bring everybody together. A question was also raised by its own younger leader, BJP's own younger leader, Pankaja Munde as well. And finally, Priyanka Gandhi won Wayanad as expected. This brings 3 members of the Gandhi family in parliament. It's also a good time for the party then to do some real introspection on its future. That's a lot of takeaways from just 2 state elections and a bunch of by-elections. Note, however, that these results have mostly come from the states that pegged the BJP down to 240 last summer. That is what makes them even more significant. And if you've seen me swatting mosquitoes once in a while, that's because I'm recording this in Bengaluru. You might have figured this from the sights and sounds around me. I'm in Bengaluru to speak at the India Foundation's India Ideas Summit.